it's Serafina here. Today I'm talking about creativity with chronic illness. It's not a great topic. It is, but it's a necessary topic if it's hard to talk about. Hi, today I'm talking about creativity with chronic illness. I'm making the video that I would have liked to have heard when I was suffering the worst of my chronic illness. For me, that was daily migraines and multiple daily migraines. It's uncomfortable to talk about, so I'm doing my best. But I wanted to talk about creativity in that space because my background has been vocationally as a creative. I'm a singer and songwriter and performer, dancer. I've worn many hats, and I just wanted to share some of the things that worked for me. Really helpful to tune in at the end. I'll give you my number one tip. The first one is find something you can be creative with within your limitations, whatever that means for you. For me, that has meant songwriting. I have a songwriting group that meets online once a month, so not being able to travel or drive or get to somewhere reliably, I could do something online, and having a deadline really helped me because I had an entire month, which meant that I left it till like the last time I left it till the last 45 minutes before the group that I wrote and recorded the song. But having some kind of thing that was online, and I wasn't able to make it to it all the time, but it just brought some richness into my life when everything was pretty contracted, everything was pretty small for me. Another thing I did was journaling, and journaling was helpful. I wish I'd kind of looked at more creative prompts, but also was very limited in what I could possibly do. So sometimes that was, I tried to do the Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way, 3 pages on getting up. Sometimes it was too difficult to face what I was experiencing, and I'd write a line and not get further, but something that was achievable. Another thing that I did as I was getting a little bit better is attend a poetry group, which was really amazing because I was there just to listen, but I started creating my own poetry, and it really helped to be able to take in some poetry and just hear some different perspectives, and also for me to meet with people. So for me, this was walking distance. I live in a really small suburb. I'm really lucky that I could walk to that. And that was something that I could do fairly regularly. It only happens sort of once a fortnight, but that was really enriching for me to get some kind of other creative input. And eventually I ended up writing poetry and expressing some of the things I was feeling a lot better than journaling and being direct about it. I found that being creative really helped me to express what I was feeling without, I don't know why it was different than just writing in a journal about how I was feeling. It just felt different, and it felt a little bit more freeing, and maybe because I was using more of my subconscious to express myself, I didn't feel quite as much difficulty in expressing myself. And I also shared, so when I could, I'd go to a cafe, and I also was able to share those poems. Somebody really annoyed me in a cafe once, and so I wrote a poem about it and shared it with a friend in Singapore, and it just brought me closer to other people. And added to that is to try and do that as regularly as you can. Not every day I could do something creative, and sometimes I just felt like I really couldn't. And for me, with migraine, I had cognitive problems, which meant that I couldn't think properly, and I had difficulty finding words, and that was really frightening. But just something that is as regular as possible just keeps you in touch with a world that's bigger than the one that you happen to be able to inhabit at that time. Okay, tip number 2 is to connect to community in any way that you can. For me, that was my songwriting group and the poetry group. That was really helpful to help me connect to something outside of myself, to have deadlines and also just hear other people's work and be inspired that I could be part of a world, or that I was still a part of a world that was really important to me. And it was really important to me because I even wrote in the card to the poet who runs the local poetry group, this has been a lifeline for me because it helped me express some of the difficult things that I couldn't express just through writing in a journal, and that even, talking to a friend or explaining what I was going through never sort of didn't feel like it kind of went all the way to explaining what was going on for me. So I really felt that was a lifeline for me. So for you, that might be painting or drawing or something else. But, listening to audiobooks or doing something that I could do at many different times was really helpful to me to stay feeling connected to the world. My number one tip, I've done this backwards, I don't know, I think I did 3, 2, 1, but my number one tip is to do any micro movement you can. So that is, if that is writing one word or drawing one picture, or I don't know, even humming along to the radio, or doing something that reminds you of your own creativity and what you're connected to, or if it's listening to audiobooks or poetry, whatever that tiniest movement is really important, because for me, it's that sense of autonomy. So one of the biggest things that I've felt is that I'm not in control of my world and my choices in the way that I have been in other parts of my life, or the rest of my life. And what being involved in something creative made me feel like I had that tiniest little bit of control back, of being able to express something, of being able to connect with others, of being able to connect with creativity. This has not been an easy video to make, but I really appreciate you watching to the end, and I hope that gives you something helpful and something to think about in terms of creativity and chronic health conditions. This is the video that I really wanted to see, or the video that I really wanted to hear when I was feeling pretty lost and not sure what to do or what could help me when things were really bad. I hope it's helped you, and if things get better and not as great, but I really hope this is helpful at the moment when you see it. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next video.